Welcome back. Democrat Ed Perlmutter has been representing Colorado's 7th Congressional District for nearly a decade now. And this year, Republican George Athanasopoulos hopes to unseat him. And we have George Athanasopoulos here joining us now. And welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's start with who you are, why you want this position.
Well, I am a Colorado native. I grew up in Jefferson County. I attended Wheat Ridge High School, went off to the University of Colorado Boulder. Then I went off to join the Army. So I served 13 and a half years as an infantry officer. I deployed to Iraq 4 times. Earlier this year, I was medically retired, and I felt that I still wanted to contribute, that I had more left to give, and I felt that this race was a way in which I could make a difference.
And why this district? Why this position?
This is where I grew up. This is my district. I live now about a mile from where my parents live and where my wife's parents live. So this is home to me. So if I'm going to run anywhere, I'm going to run here.
You're new to politics. This is your first time running for any office?
Correct.
What is it about you that people should know?
Well,
why should they vote for you?
Well, if you look around and you look at the problems facing the world today, if you think about national security, foreign policy, the threat of terrorism, I have firsthand experience with those issues. Being stationed in northern Iraq, I got to see it firsthand. And one of the issues that I'm very passionate about is the current genocide that's going on in the Middle East. And northern Iraq used to be home to a very large Assyrian Christian community, for instance, and they've been decimated. You have the U.S. House of Representatives earlier this year passed a resolution calling what's going on in the Middle East a genocide, and yet we've done nothing about it. We've signed an international treaty on genocide. We have not voted to invoke or enforce that treaty. And frankly, Ed Perlmutter has been in office for nearly 10 years, but when it comes to national security matters, he is woefully inexperienced.
Let's talk about some of the issues that Second Amendment. Clearly, you're in favor of your Second Amendment rights.
I am.
You want to stay firm?
Yes, absolutely. So I will absolutely support the Second Amendment, but if the people of the 7th Congressional District choose to send me to Washington, I want them to know that, yes, I will vote in their best interests all the time, and the Second Amendment is part of that. But what I am going to do differently than Ed Perlmutter, the Democrats, and frankly too many Republicans, is I want to stand firm on national security, because what's going on in the Middle East does bear a direct threat here in the United States. We see it across Europe. We see it here with the terrorist attacks that have occurred in Orlando, San Bernardino, before that 9/11, the first World Trade Center bombing. These are not separate events.
So if the people of the 7th Congressional District wanted you to change your votes on Second Amendment issues, would you? Would you be willing?
No, first of all, I don't think that they would want me to change my votes, because I think that I mirror what it is that the majority of the 7th Congressional District wants. So I don't see an issue of why I would have to change my vote. I would stand for the Second Amendment. The majority of the district supports that. I think we're perfectly in sync.
You had done a fundraiser offering to teach people how to use a weapon. Did you have many takers? It was, what, $700 to do that?
Yeah, it's being in the military. I am not a wealthy person. I don't have a wide Rolodex full of many trial lawyers and powerful political people, but what I do have is I have a lot of friends in the military, and they have a great deal of experience with firearms and with marksmanship, and that's the one thing that I could do for fundraising, and you have to use what you have.
Did you have many takers?
Yeah, it was good.
Immigration, where do you stand on immigration? The wall issue?
Immigration is a national security issue, and I know that many Democrats try and make it something else, but it is a national security issue, and if you don't control your borders, then you don't control your own sovereignty. So for me, when I think about immigration, I think of it as a national security issue. Now, I am not anti-immigrant. Both of my parents are immigrants. My father's from Greece, my mother's from Northern Ireland. To say that I'm anti-immigrant is preposterous, but when we talk about immigration policy, you have to understand that it's a national security issue first and foremost.
So what would your policy be?
I think first and foremost, you have to secure the border. Then you have to begin enforcing the laws that are being ignored right now by the Obama administration. Once you have done those two things, if the laws need to be changed, then they can be changed. But until you begin enforcing what's already on the books, how do you move ahead?
Do we need to build a wall, as Donald Trump says?
If you can't secure the border, maybe that's a wall, maybe that's some sort of monitoring, but frankly, I do believe we need to build some sort of obstacle on the border, and if that's a wall, so be it. But again, immigration is a national security issue.
And will you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
And in our last less than a minute here, what is it that you would like to say to voters of the 7th Congressional District, since it has been in Democratic hands for the last 10 years?
I will vote in their best interests. Frankly, Ed Perlmutter has gone to Washington. He has become part of Washington. He votes more like Nancy Pelosi than he does the people of his district. I will vote the majority of the district, what's in their best interest. And frankly, given everything that's going on now with national security, foreign policy, we haven't even talked about economic policy, because what Ed Perlmutter advocates for, and I don't know if you noticed, but Athanasopoulos, it's a Greek last name, but the same economic policies that Ed Perlmutter and the Democrats are advocating for now, those are the same policies that Andreas Papandreou was advocating for in Greece in the 1980s, and it has completely destroyed their economy.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, and we appreciate
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.